ain't taking nobody's life. We putting kids through school. We connecting people with people so they can get interns and get opportunities. That's what happened when you confident. You're not jealous of nobody. You ain't got to hate on nobody. But when you're not confident, you're a dangerous person. Malcolm said the greatest person you should fear in life is the person that ain't got nothing to live for. Malcolm said, don't be in the alley with somebody that ain't got nothing to live for, because they'll take your life too, because they don't care about their own. Last one, ask. Who do I need to become in order to execute? Do me a favor. Greatest challenge sometimes we have is we're afraid to ask. Most humiliating time of my life was being an African-American man in Michigan State University, a classroom that was, let's just say, homogeneous for a boy coming from Detroit. I remember being in there, don't know what's going on. I was scared to ask. Some professional black people pulled me to the side and said, worst thing you could do is think that you're gonna be dumb. You're actually dumb by not asking. Raise your hand, look stupid, and don't be stupid afterwards. Let your pride and your ego go. And I did it. And it felt good after the third time asking. I started becoming like a guru at asking. And I started figuring out how to actually ask something. But because before I didn't really know how to ask, I would say it and you couldn't answer me because I didn't even know how to ask. And I became an expert at learning how to ask. Then I started reading my professor's books. I didn't even know they had books. And I would come to class and ask questions from their book. In your book about pedagogy, chapter 3, you mentioned centralization versus decentralization. When you said decentralization, it was specifically what were you referring to? And give me an example of it. My man pulled me to the side. You read my book? I was like, yeah, I read your book. No, you read? Of course I read your book. My grade went from a 2.5 to a 4.0. Now listen to what I'm saying. Some of you in this room, you think it's weak to ask. It's actually weak not to ask. Last one, ask. I don't want to go here, but it said ask and you shall seek, knock. Simple. It's right there in the word. But you can't get what you don't ask for. I leave you. The giants of the past were great, but we need giants of the present. We need giants of the present. We need Malcolms of the present, Martins of the present, Family Lou of the present, Garvey of the present, Carter G. Woodson of the present, W.E.B. Du Bois of the present. Come on. We need the present. Can I be just super honest? So I dropped out of high school. The pastor helped me to get my GED. I went to a HBCU in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm gonna be scared, bro. When they first told me Alabama, we only knew one thing about Alabama coming up in Detroit, and that was the KKK. I'm like, bro, what in the world? Y'all gonna send me to Alabama? Nah, when you go to Bama, bro, some of the nicest people in the world. One cool thing about Bama, you know who like you and who don't. I'm gonna say that again. One thing you love about Alabama, they don't play no games. You know who for you, you know who against you. I love Michigan, but sometimes you can't tell the difference. So when I went down south, one of my first English courses, we watched the Eyes on the Prize series. Every young person needs to watch the Eyes on the Prize. And I heard for the very first time in my life the story of Emmett Till. And when I saw what Emmett Till went through, I was like, bruh, come on, you playing? You can't read or write and you 18, almost 19? At a time in our country, bro, you just kick in a man door, take his kid out and kill him and you can't do nothing about it. I was like, they went through too much for you to be ignorant, for you to be dumb. They fought to go to school, Little Rock 9. They had to have the doggone National Guard to go to school. Ain't nobody stopping me from going to school but me. And so that video with Emmett Till changed my life. And then there was one other one, look him up. Yummy Sandifer, 11-year-old, south side of Chicago. Got shot 11 times in the back of the head, execution style, by my own people. And I realized we got two enemies. We like to focus on the one out, but we got an enemy within. And I realized I gotta grow up and get right, because I gotta help the enemy without and I gotta help the enemy within. And I gotta do more with the enemy within because he my next door neighbor. You gonna shoot an 11-year-old because you think he gonna snitch? You talking about the police, but this your own? So I realized I got a lot of work to do. That was the day everything clicked for me because of my history. And it was like, it's showtime, bro. You owe Martin, you owe Malcolm. They did not take us this far for us to go backwards. And every time I come out here, especially in the winter, and pray at 3 o'clock in the morning, it just reminds me so much of when I was homeless. Man, this 3 o'clock in the morning thing has changed my life, man. It felt like it's -2 degrees out here. But it's not the cold, it's not, the numbness in your hands, the numbness in your feet. Like, that's not what it is. It's when it's dark and you gotta walk by yourself. When I was going through my worst, points of life, I had my mama, I had my grandma, I had my cousins, but when I was homeless, it was dark and I was by myself, so I know for a lot of you, the year started off, as dark as the other year started off. You're as lost as you were before. You had no clarity. I get it. Your confidence is shattered. My confidence was so bad when I was homeless. I couldn't walk with my head up. I couldn't have my shoulders up. I couldn't stick my chest out. And so I know what you're going through. So for me, it's like, how can I help? I read your DMs, I read them. I see the texts you send me. I see when I'm preaching, I see the comments you make, and I was like, God, how can I help? And so, I said, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let them get through January, and I'm gonna let them see if this gonna be a different year. And for a lot of you, it's not. Here's what we're gonna do in February. I'm gonna walk with you because I know what it's like to walk alone. So I'm gonna walk with you in your darkest points of your life, right? God changed my life at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's why I'm still doing it. I was 16 years old. I'm 53 now. I'm still getting up in the morning, and I'm still walking and talking with God. And so I'm gonna introduce you to the system that God gave me. Every day, we're gonna do it for an entire month. I'm gonna give you that system. I'm gonna give it to you for free. If you wanna get on the other side and like live and be and do and have everything God had planned for you, I'm telling you, all you gotta do is click that link. Together, we're gonna get on the other side. It's your boy, E.T. If you're ready to make the rest of your life the best of your life, I'll see you February 1st.